Pre-observation video, Molly Oberst and Andrew Lorenzana. Take 2. Hi Andrew, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Molly. How are you?
Good. As part of your annual evaluation, we're going to spend some time together, and I would like to observe you performing some of your job role. And you mentioned that you had an event coming up. So can you tell me about the event?
I do. I have the Assembly Select Committee hearing on waste reduction and recycling coming up. So I've been working with conferences and events here on campus, as well as the Office of the President, and coordinating with Assembly Member Jackie Irwin's office to set up this hopefully great event.
So this is with outside people as well, not just campus people.
Yes, 2 Assembly members will be on campus, as well as a panel of 8 local recycling and waste management professionals.
And do we host these kind of things a lot?
Not regularly. This is the first one that I've done. This is the first one that I've heard about here on campus. We do some political events, rallies, town halls, and such. Maybe only a few a year.
Okay. And this is part of your role as?
Community and Government Relations Specialist.
Okay, interesting. So what can I expect to observe?
You can expect to observe me doing some customer service, greeting people, showing them just how the event's going to go, where they need to be, what they should be doing, assisting panelists and the assembly members in preparing for their presentations, and doing some running around kind of logistical stuff. I'll be setting up PowerPoints, tables, prepping, making sure catering's ready, some displays are ready before the event.
Sounds like a lot. Sounds like a lot of running around. I hope you have a Fitbit. And what do you want out of this observation?
So I would really appreciate it if you kind of focused on how my customer service skills are as I interact with guests who are coming, and also the assembly members and other kind of VIP guests. I would also like you to pay attention to my problem-solving ability. If an issue comes up, how I handle it, maybe some recommendations for improvement in those areas specifically.
Okay. All right. I'll see you at the event.
Okay.
Okay, post-observation video, Molly Oberst and Andrew Lorenzana. Take 1. Hey Andrew, how you doing?
Hey Molly, I'm doing good. How about you?
Good. I really enjoyed getting to know a little bit more about your role here. So let's assume I know a lot more and do a post-observation review. So the scheduled observation was at your event that occurred yesterday, and it was for the an outside group, two assembly people, Jackie Irwin and McCarty, on waste reduction and recycling.
Correct.
So you had talked about your role as far as coordination and logistics, but you also were kind of a meet and greet person. And what I observed, and you asked me to comment, to pay attention to your customer service skills, how you interacted with the VIPs and the rest and the other guests on campus, your problem-solving ability, and so this is what I saw happen at the event. First, the VIPs were arriving, and you had coordinated to have the parking in front of Malibu Hall available to them so that there was no issue there, which is surprising because nobody knows their way around CI, but I think Jackie Irwin is a little more familiar with our campus. So that went well, and you made sure that they were comfortable when they arrived at the hallway, had everything set up, and they were at their table, and So that all went very smoothly. The catering was there, so clearly the logistics were all well organized. And I felt like you were pretty comfortable with the guests, both the VIP, the two assembly people, but also the rest of the folks that you were interacting with from the various groups around the county that focus on these issues of waste reduction and recycling. You had anticipated possibly some protests, so luckily that didn't happen, or that could have been under your problem-solving skills. But you did your work to find out whether or not they were going to show up prior to the event. So I think that was pretty effective. As far as problem-solving ability, you were Johnny on the spot getting up there to fix the PowerPoint when the chief of staff for Jackie Irwin had stepped out of the room for a minute. And so that was really good, because what ended up happening was nobody noticed. It was very seamless, and you were right there and were responsive to the situation. Other than that, as far as recommendations, I feel like you're you're well suited for the role, and you're very comfortable in this position of having to work with people in political positions. So I say you're doing a good job, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Molly.
You're welcome. So we had an opportunity last night for me to drop in on you after class, where you had to complete a task for your job. And so we made that the unscheduled observation, and I walked with you back to your office after class, which was around 7:30, and that's kind of late for someone to have to go back to work and finish up what they need to do for the day. But I thought that was really admirable and dedicated of you to stay late and get this task done. And one question I have for you is, did you have to get it done that late in the day? Is there, what are the reasons why it was getting done then? Is it a time management thing, or was it the task just needed time where you could really focus and not have interruptions?
Yeah, partially that. I needed to really focus on it and not be interrupted by people in the hallway and such. But the deadline was looming, and I wanted to just kind of finish it and get it to the person that it needed to go to so that they can provide some feedback. But yeah, those two reasons mostly.
Okay. Well, that was really diligent of you, and that should be appreciated. So.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.